Get away straight away, eliminate play, start nowhere
Hello and welcome to another special piece for Hockey Zone. It's not very often that we get a Hockeyroo over from Perth to come and talk to us, but today Rachael Lynch has taken her time off to come and sit down with us at the outrigger. Rachel's ready and inside. Let's go and take a look. Could you tell us a bit about your experiences as a Hockeyroo?
Yeah, so I've been playing hockey for a while now. I started in 1998 but debuted for the Hockeyroos in 2006. So I've played 116 games for Australia now, and yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Had some some really great successes with Com Games recently, and the Com Games in 2010, silver at the World Cup, and yeah, I've had a ball. I love it. Live in Perth, and yeah, really enjoy having that as my job, if you like.
So what's been the biggest highlight for you in your hockey career?
This year's been a pretty good year. So we had the World Cup first, and yeah, we had a great tournament there. We went away wanting to make the finals, and we did that. We came second. We got silver over there, outclassed by the Dutch, who were very good and #1 in the world. But we were really proud of how we played and the performance there. I was fortunate enough to get goalkeeper of the tournament, which an individual accolade like that is obviously great, but not what I went there for, and I'm very privileged, but really glad that we got our silver medal. And then to go to the Com Games and win gold there the hard way. We only just did it and ended up winning in penalties, so it was a really exciting event. And in the hockey calendar, it's not the biggest one for us because the Commonwealth Games doesn't include some of the superpowers in hockey. But yeah, happy to get the gold and got some really great publicity out of it as well.
So being a goalkeeper, that's got to come with a lot of ups and downs. Can you tell us a bit about that sort of emotional roller coaster that comes with your position? Yeah,
look, I suppose you learn from a young age that you're going to spend a lot of time on the bench. It's a position where there's only one spot, and so if you're not #1, then you have to sort of wait your turn. And I've been on both sides of that in the Australian team. So when I debuted, Rachael Lynch was the #1 goalkeeper, and so I was second to her for a little while. I got a few games, and then leading into 2008, I was the third, so Tony Cronk was around then, so missed out on those Olympics. And then, yeah, ups and downs. So Rachael, she retired, and then it was Tony and I, and then since Tony's retired now, Ash Wells and myself. So you get to experience the highs of being #1, and sometimes they're not necessarily lows, but times when you have to sort of wait and be patient, be a part of the team, support the team, but do your part, which may involve, filling up water bottles or whatever that may be. But I love being a goalkeeper. It's a very unique position, and you have a high level of responsibility for the team, which I enjoy and embrace that. Especially now that we have the penalties, the one-on-ones, it puts you under pressure, but I enjoy the pressure. I enjoy doing the one-on-ones, and you get to really have an impact for the team, and I love being able to do that.
So do you think that rotational sort of what happens in the Hockeyroo, does that motivate you to train any differently to any of the other players?
Maybe not differently, but it absolutely pushes you. After the Olympics in 2012, missing out there, I just decided that I didn't want to do that anymore, and it really is about your performance. It was not anyone else's fault. It was the fact that I didn't, perform that year, and if I'd done so, maybe I would have had the opportunity to go, but I didn't. And yeah, so I've really sort of put my foot down since then, and want to make it clear that I'm the #1 keeper, and that may not be the case all the time, but it's all about your preparation. So if you can do the hard work and get yourself into the best position, then it'll give you the best chance of being selected. And yeah, I'm very lucky that I have a great relationship with Ash Wells. She's a good friend of mine, and now we've got Audrey Smith coming into the team as well, who's a fantastic keeper and awesome person. So we're very spoilt that the three of us can hang out, and Ash and I have been friends for a long time, both coming from Victoria. So I love training with her, but I don't hold back either. I'm very competitive, as is she. So we fight pretty hard for the spot, but once the selection's made, we're still friends and we support each other as we should with any of your other teammates. So it's an interesting dynamic, but yeah, I still enjoy it.
We've heard that you're one of the most aggressive goalies on the field. How do you sort of change your mindset when you cross over that white line?
I suppose anyone that plays at the top level has to be competitive, and I am, and I suppose I focus on just the fierce determination to stop the ball and do anything to stop it. I suppose it's a simple task for a goalkeeper, really, just get in the way. But I don't know, I'm a very motivated person, and when I play for Australia that just comes naturally because you're representing your country and you feel very proud to do that. So I feel I have to do my bit for the team and pride myself on the way I play, so I want to perform well for the group, and if I can help us win in that way by doing my job, then I want to do it to the best of my ability.
And we've heard that you and Ash Wells are on the search for Australia's next top goalie. Can you tell us a bit about the idea behind that? Yeah,
so I'll start firstly by saying it's a very informal sort of approach, but the two of us coming from Victoria's got a very proud history of goalkeepers. Stephen Molam, Rachel Emerson, and now Ash and myself. So we want to make sure that the trend continues, not necessarily from Victoria, but that we've got some good goalkeepers coming through. We know that the men's and women's programs both are looking for goalkeepers for the future, as they are for all different positions, but we do a lot of coaching anyway, Ash and I, so we thought why not make it a bit of fun, and while we're doing the sessions we can keep an eye out and see if we can spot some talent. So I've taken it on for this sort of time while I've got a bit of free time to do coaching right around Australia basically, and just sussing out all the talent.
So what's been the best part of sussing out that talent around Australia?
Yeah, well look, I love coaching. I love coaching goalkeepers. It's a real specialised position and there's not a lot of coaches around, so there's a real need for it. And anywhere that I go, it's sort of, there's kids that are keen, or even adults that are keen. I'm not too fussy with who I coach, but there's some really motivated and skillful kids out there that maybe aren't getting recognised because the lack of sometimes there's not a lot of tournaments, or they don't have the development pathways set in place in that particular state. So yeah, I just try and give them some knowledge and pass on what I've learnt, but really at the end of the day just have a bit of fun with them and try and keep them interested in goalkeeping, and showing them that there is I suppose a light at the end of the tunnel, because it's not always the most rewarding position and really hard for kids. So I try and keep it all upbeat and show them that they can go somewhere with their keeping, and if not, they can have a good time while they're doing it.
So how can we find out a bit more about getting involved in that initiative of yours?
Oh look, we haven't. I mean, we just promote it through a bit of social media, and Ash and I have that. I've got a website that I use, but it's basically just anyone that's interested in doing a session with me, if we can work out the time, happy to do it. Same with Ash when she's back in Melbourne after Champions Trophy. So just keep an eye out on the social media.
There you go. So, and we've also heard that off the field you're very passionate about some other topics, and you and Ashley Nelson have been involved in the Are You OK initiative. Can you tell us a bit about your involvement in that?
Yeah, so I've been working with Are You OK for about 3 years now, and Ash also, health professional. I'm a nurse, and she's an OT, so we've both got an interest in mental health. So we went on board with Are You OK this year in the lead up to the Kokoda trek that we both did straight after the Com Games. So we partnered with Are You OK and decided to raise some money for them, as well as raising awareness. That's sort of the priority for them, is spreading the message. And we raised about $31,000 I think in the end, and we were really proud of what we did for them, because they're a fantastic organisation, and mental health is everywhere. You can't avoid it, unfortunately. So trying to spread the word. All the Hockeyroo girls are awesome. They get on board and help promote it with us, and heaps of the girls were wearing the wristbands at AHL, which was fantastic. So yeah, look, just a really great organisation, and I want to keep working with them as long as I can. And if I can use hockey to help promote someone like that, a company like that, then yeah, I'll keep doing so.
So how was that Kokoda trek?
It was cool. Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really unique experience. Coming off the back of the Commonwealth Games, Ash and I had to sort of pinch ourselves a couple of times because we left for, I think it was 4 days after Com Games, and it was supposed to be our 2 weeks rest period, but we thought, why not go, walk 96 kilometres in the jungle if you can. But yeah, unbelievable. It was on our bucket list, and both of us had wanted to do it for a long time. So to get over there and actually do it, there's so much history, and the culture over there is so unique. We were completely taken away from, there's no technology. Our phones didn't work, so that was nice to stay off the internet and off the phone for 9 days. No internet, so we didn't have computers or anything. So it was very different as far as a holiday, if you like. But physically it was challenging. Emotionally, there was a lot that it makes you realise what sort of our the guys went through back in the day during the war, and what they had to battle through, the fighting that they did there. It was unbelievable that they did that. It was hard enough for us to walk it, and they were fighting against the Japanese during that time. So a great experience and something that I'll never forget.
So what was the main thing you think you took away from that you can apply to all aspects of your life?
Oh, look, the one thing that I enjoyed the most was being sort of fully detached from the world, if you like. Not having the technology is something that you can't get anymore. Even if you go on a holiday somewhere, there's always Wi-Fi and phone coverage, and we didn't have any of that. So the two of us got to talk a lot, which was good, and it just shows that you can separate yourself, and it gives you time to switch off. And it showed us that there's a lot of things that they can wait. They're not important, and we were just fully engrossed in it and sort of embracing the moment and the experience. And the people that live over there, they don't have any of that. So seeing the kids, we'd walk into a village and there's kids playing. Well, we even found some kids playing hockey with, they'd made like a puck, if you like, out of a thong. So they just cut a bit of rubber and they used sticks, just sticks off a tree, and they're playing hockey and had an absolute ball. So, who knew that you could be that creative? And it's a shame that kids aren't like that anymore, especially in Australia, but it was really refreshing to see that.
And so it's not very often that a Hockeyroo is over here in Queensland from all their training back in Perth. So can you tell us a bit about why you're in Queensland?
Yeah, so the Hockeyroos are away at the moment, so they've just been in New Zealand, then heading off to Argentina. And myself, Ash originally, Madonna Blythe and Jade Taylor were all given the opportunity to have a bit of a break. So after such a big year, World Cup and Com Games, they decided that we'd have a bit of time away. So Ash ended up getting a call up, otherwise she would have been here with me as well because there was an injury. But I just thought I'll take this opportunity to do all the things that I've been wanting to do for some time, which includes coaching and a bit of travel. So as I said, there's heaps of goalies around Australia that are itching for some coaching. So I sort of put the word out that if there's any around that wanted some sessions, and if we could make it happen, I would try and get across to wherever they are. So yeah, I'm going back and forth to Melbourne as much as I can, where I'm from originally. But yeah, trying to tie in as much coaching as I can too.
And we've also heard that you're doing a bit of speaking on this trip out at the Gold Coast Turf Club. Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
So how's that transition from the hockey field onto the lectern turning out?
Yeah, it's good. Look, I really enjoy it. Ash and I have done quite a lot. Ash Nelson and I have done a fair bit since Kokoda. So the Kokoda itself and our link with Are You OK has caused a bit of interest, and tied in with the hockey as well, our success this year. So it's great. We both enjoy doing it. I like doing a bit of public speaking, and anything that's an opportunity to kind of spread the word, especially with Are You OK, but also just the Hockeyroos and what we're about, what we're trying to do. So yeah, always keen to have a chat about what we do and tell our story.
So why is it, do you think, that sports stars make such good motivational speakers?
Oh, look, I don't know. I suppose everyone's got a unique story, and no athlete has a clear run, like a smooth run, or there's not many that do. So I think people are interested in that, your story and how you manage your life. For me, it's I work as well. I work as a nurse and trying to do a bit of charity work as well, a bit of coaching. You end up juggling a lot of things, and I love doing that. But it's a different lifestyle. We don't get up and go to work and spend 8 hours behind a desk or anything like that. It's very, very unique. We travel all over the world, sometimes up to 3 or 4 months of the year. So it's a lifestyle that the average person sometimes doesn't understand, but is definitely interested in. So yeah, I think it's yeah, it's always nice to have a chat about it.
So just before we get to our fast 5 questions at the end, what's next for you?
For me, yeah, summer sort of a little bit at home. I'll spend a bit of time in Melbourne, but also back in Perth working. And then we start back in January, so we've got a big camp in February with all the up and coming talent and with the Hockeyroo. So that's our next aim. But yeah, start training on the 19th of Jan, and then focus is Rio really, which is not long now, 2016.
And if you could give all those young goalies out there watching one piece of advice, what would that be?
I suppose, you know, it's taught me over the years just to really enjoy it. You know, it's a really tough position sometimes, and not to be too hard on yourself. I always say to the kids that I coach that, you know, kicking's really important and getting your basic skills right. But at the end of the day, you just got to enjoy it, because if you're not enjoying the position or playing hockey, then you're not going to keep doing it. So yeah, that'd be my main bit of advice.
We're just going to finish with a question about that infamous shootout in the Com Games. Would you be able to talk us through that?
Yeah, so it was a really nerve-wracking moment beforehand. So we were losing 1-0. I'd hardly touched the ball all game. England broke away and scored a goal. So I was standing at the other end, very anxiously, you know, I suppose hoping that we would score. I actually felt physically ill, and I haven't felt like that in a game before, because, you know, we were watching the gold medal slip away, and Jodie Kenny was actually the one that scored right at the end. And as soon as that goal went in, I knew we'd be fine. So we practiced the one-on-ones all the time. You know, I love doing them. The girls are really confident with them. So the vibe in the group just changed completely, because we knew that we're back on track, you know, after that gold medal. And yeah, so went into it reasonably knowledgeable, I suppose, about the English girls. We've faced them plenty of times, and I knew roughly what they wanted to do. A few nerves, as is always the case, but just like I said, so much confidence in the girls and their abilities. So yeah, I think the first one went in. The second one managed to save. That was a bit of a slip up on her behalf, and you know, nerves from them maybe as well. Yeah, I think I saved the next 2 as well, and it was so great that Donnie got to take our last one. So, you know, captain Madonna Blythe, usually she takes the first one, so it was really nice that she could score the winning one. And at the time I didn't realise we'd won, because I was sort of too worried about the next girl who was about to take hers and thinking about what she did. But then once the girls started all running at Donnie, I knew we had it, and yeah, really pleased for her and just so proud of the girls.
So now we've just got our 5 last questions for you. To start off, what does it take to go from an AHL goalie to a Hockeyroo goalkeeper?
Ooh, a lot of hours in the gym, a lot of hours on the hockey pitch, and probably just a real determination to take that next step and perform at the highest level.
And secondly, who's the best female goalie you've seen playing, and why?
Ooh, definitely Rachael Lynch. She was my idol and inspiration growing up, and even when I was playing hockey in the Hockeyroos, I was still, you know, amazed by what she could do. And not just as a hockey player, she was, you know, one of the best in the world easily for many years, but as a person, you know, she's also tries to fit a lot into her life, and has now just finished studying medicine, so a bit of an overachiever, all-rounder, I suppose.
And who do you think is the best goalie in the world at the moment?
Well, there's a lot of talent at the moment. You know, the Dutch goalie Joyce, she's amazing. I think she went majority of the World Cup, or if not the whole World Cup, without letting a goal in. All over the world there's great keepers, and the standard's quite high, so a bit of competition for us, but yeah, plenty to aspire to, and different skills that we can see as well, which is good.
Number 4, when does an international goalkeeper know when to retire?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose when you're not improving anymore, that'd probably be the main thing for me, certainly. I don't ever want to sort of plateau, so once I stop improving, maybe I'll reconsider it, but hopefully it'll be, for me personally, after winning a gold medal at Rio.
And lastly, what are your thoughts on a national Australasian hockey competition that's similar to what they have in the netball?
Yeah, great idea. I think we need to broaden the competition in Australia. I think including New Zealand and maybe some of the Asian teams would be a great idea, but obviously funding is the biggest issue, and you know, to lift the standard would bring more people along to watch, more sponsors, but you need the money to start it, so it's difficult, but yeah, I hope one day we can get to that stage.
A big thank you for the Outrigger and Rachael for giving up their time today. If you're interested in finding out about a few more of Rachael's interests and signing up for some of her coaching clinics, go and visit our website at rachaellynch.com.au. That's it for us today. This has been Bridget Vanderwolf reporting for Hockey Zone News.
Get away straight away, eliminate play. Start, you know where to position.